Okay, you want to know about entrepreneurs? I wanted to know myself about the statistics of what we know. So I went on AI today about the statistics of startups and entrepreneurs in the United States and globally, and also Vietnam, because a lot of people know that I'm high on Vietnam. And I'm going to give you some highlights. First of all, I asked a question about, what's the percentage of entrepreneurs in the United States? And they called it entrepreneurship activities. 16% of the United States are involved with entrepreneur activities. That would include me. Okay? How many startups a day approximately? 137,000 in the United States. About 50 million annually globally. Average age of a entrepreneur startup is 42 to 45 in the United States. Listen to that, 42 to 45. How old are you? Are you employed right now? Are you in PE? Are you in, what I mean by PE is private equity? Have you lost your job, with the white collar recession going on right now? And it's basically stagnant after COVID. People started up their own business. They call it side hustles because a lot of them didn't really act on formulating an organization. Now, 1 million startups in the United States is approximately 5 million people. So 4 to 5 employees, okay? I didn't ask about, we all know about successes. Successes is you really 50% fail within 5 years. Then it goes higher, and I think it's only 10% after 7 years that survive, okay? So I asked a question about college kids, teenagers, and so on, because the word is, I want to be an entrepreneur. It was interesting. 41% of the U.S. teenagers, their career path will be entrepreneurial based. They didn't want to work for anybody. What was really interesting was 61% of that number is teenage girls. 61% of teenage girls would prefer a career path of small business, a startup, an entrepreneur. 54% boys prefer to do their own business, entrepreneurial activities. But here's the actual results. Those are all wish lists, hopes, and so on. 6% actually took action, and that wasn't girls. It was boys. 4% girls. 4% girls. Of that 61%, only 4% actually took action and started formulating an entrepreneurial activity or a plan. 6% boys. So 76% of teens combined hoped to be social media influencers. 16%. So that's what they want. But here's the stat that I know, and this is all U.S. based. The number that I know is there's 115 million YouTube channels, for an example. 115 million. And 95% do not carry on after 6 months. They don't become monetized. They don't look at it as a business. They quit after 6 months. It's hard because I know I'm in it. I run it like a business. I've been pretty fortunate because I got 50 years and 71 years of content, of stories. And the people that listen to me are looking for mentorship. They're looking for ideas, advice, help. Most of it, mentorship. Rock helped me. And I would say of these high percentage of entrepreneur people, they're really not listening to the elders. That's the unique situation that I had. I was always curious. And I always surrounded myself with elderly people. Why? Because that was my foundation. My grandparents, my father, those were my influencers. And what I observed was hard work. That's the bottom line. My grandparents were immigrants. It was all hard work, man. There was no money. My father had the same work ethic, but he invested everything. And don't forget, we had 11 children. So can you imagine why our family was built on faith, family, and food? Which meant you got to work. So where I'm at on my YouTube and my TikTok, to give you a heads up, I'm in the top 5% right now of that 115 million channels after 9 months. Why? Because I invest in it. I have a strategy, I have intent, I look at it as a business. I have a team of editors, I have a team of graphic artists, I have a team that posts. I have people working on the game plan. We talk every month. Here's our milestones. We have the software to analyze and evaluate everything we do. Now, I have the luxury that I could self-fund this. Most kids don't have that money. They don't have that understanding. And a lot of them just don't want to go out and work. Now, I'm not saying our kids are lazy. I'm just saying that you need an opportunity. But a lot of it comes from your family, your foundation, the opportunities, and you can't count on your parents. And I have a lot of friends that their kids, their married kids, their adult children have asked for money. Asked for money for divorces, for lawyers. They've asked for money for health. They've asked for money for real estate, investment. And I'll tell you something. As a parent, it really hurts when you say no. I've been asked to co-sign. I won't co-sign. Why would I not co-sign? I would not co-sign because my parents told me never co-sign for anything or anyone. Now, have I given money? Yes. Contributions. Never expected to get it back, and I didn't. So all the money that I give to my kids and my grandkids and my their tuitions, their colleges, or whatever it is, our high schools, their sports, it was all just hard work that Dad put together. Not Mom, Dad. I was the breadwinner, and I was single parent. It was all up to me. Food. I have kids that went out and worked to buy their first cars because they know I would support that. So I taught them well. Now, would I ever ask my kids for money? No. I would go without before I'd ask. My father taught me when I bought my first business, he says, and I asked him for a loan. And he said, no, don't you have friends at the bank? I said, yeah, friends at the bank. He says, well, go talk to them. And that's when I found out I had no friends. Go ahead and laugh. It's true. And back in the 80s and 90s, the banks used to call it the 5 C's. You have to meet the 5 C's in commercial. It was credibility, it was commitment, it was cash, it was collateral. It was the 5 C's. Today there's only 1 C called collateral. That's it. And if you don't have the collateral, that's why you have to go out and get funds. Go get money. Go ask for money. We were brought up, no. You want to do something? And by the way, Rock, this was told, my father told me this. We were in St. Paul driving over the High Bridge. And my father said, if you want to jump off the High Bridge in any endeavor or business or alcohol or picking the wrong horse, you jump off by yourself. And if you could do a deal alone, that's what to do. Don't bring in a partner. He learned having partners from his past of having multiple partners. And if you can't make a decision, you can't make a decision. And he says, because a partner could betray you and push you off the High Bridge, and you're dead. Okay, now, this is bad shit. It's bad shit. It's not easy to be an entrepreneur. I talk about it, and here's the other thing. Being an entrepreneur and not getting the support, if you're married, it's even worse if your spouse doesn't buy in. Because you are sacrificing everything. You're taking all the risk yourself. And if you don't tell your spouse that we're in deep shit, we're filing bankruptcy, we're doing this, we're doing that, it's terrible. So I understand how risky it is. That's the reason why once I sold my first business where I had a partner, I went alone ever since. I had no other partner except once during those 50 years. I had 2 bad partners. I had 2 bad partners and they were wives, spouses. I made a mistake. I picked the wrong horse and I had to pay. And the only support I got was alimony. So that drove me to be successful. That was my first obligation. Not a home. I rented. My wives had homes. I had to pay. I paid for them and then I had to support them all the way. So when I talk to these young kids now, I ask them, are you married? Do you have a spouse? Do you have children? how in the hell are you going to be an entrepreneur and you're going to jump off the high bridge with them? So I am not concentrating on the United States. And I will tell you this. I know a lot of people that are over 45 that are in the white collar recession and they don't get it. They don't understand. To be an entrepreneur takes a lot of risk and they're not in that position to do it. They're just not. And they spent 25 years of working for somebody. It's hard to do if you're making $300,000-$400,000. And today's average pay, these kids are getting over $100,000 a year, and it's paycheck to paycheck. How are you going to accumulate money to start up a business where the bank's going to say, well, how much do you have? Do you think $100,000 is going to cut it with even a franchise now? These franchises don't give a shit. So here you buy yourself into a franchise. They sell you the book of goods, per se. You got inventory. You need a facility. You need fees. And then at the end of the day, even if they set it up for you, you still have to make payroll. And then with payroll, they get a percentage, a royalty or a commission off every month of your gross sales. It's a stupid plan, man. And how are you going to get credibility when you got to go buy supplies? Look at about supply chain. Look what's going on in this world today. And the entrepreneurs of today that spent 40 years, 50 years building a business, it's worse than COVID because nobody wants to buy their business today. And the kids don't want it. The kids, whatever you built, they just want the fucking money. And most parents I know, it's the carrot and the stick. They're not going to get any money. And the kids just spent 20, 25 years helping their parents build a business. And the parents could get a divorce. Then that split up. And then I've seen it all. So I'll talk to you soon. God bless you. I truly appreciate everyone listening to me because I am not the smartest guy in the room. I'm just the most experienced. Okay? I'll talk to you soon. God bless.